Hello. For my speech on a crisis situation, I chose mass shootings and the mass shootings that have happened so far in 2023. So mass shootings for so far in 2023 compared to other years. There has been a total of 202 mass shootings in the US, which is more than the number of days we've been in 2023. There were 647 mass shootings in 2022 and 690 in 2021. In my little pictures here, the first one here is showing where the mass shootings have been this year. We have a few down in Wisconsin towards Illinois, a bunch in California, a bunch in Florida, and then over here is the statistics on the deadliest mass shootings in the US, with the Las Vegas concert being the biggest with a total of 60 deaths. The Orlando nightclub was a total of 49, Virginia Tech 32, Sandy Hook 27, Sutherland Spring Church was 25, Louis shooting was 23, El Paso Walmart was 23, San Bernardino McDonald's was 21, Robb Elementary was 21, and Stoneman Douglas High was 17. A lot of these shootings took place around the Texas area. Over here, it's very small, but it shows the where the mass shootings have been so far. There has been a total of 7 or more in California, 5 or more in Missouri, 5 or more in New Jersey, 3 or more in Maryland, 6 or more in Ohio, 7 or more in Texas, 6 or more in Mississippi, 6 or more in Louisiana, 3 or more in Illinois, 5 or more in Georgia, 8 or more in Florida, 3 or more in Kentucky, 2 or more in Oklahoma, 2 or more in Nevada, 2 or more in Massachusetts, 3 or more in Alabama, 2 or more in South Carolina, 2 or more in Washington, 5 or more in Pennsylvania, 4 or more in North Carolina, 4 or more in District of Columbia, 2 or more in Connecticut, Maine, Hawaii, Colorado, Indiana, Virginia, Wisconsin, 3 or more in Minnesota, Oregon, New York, Arizona, Utah, and Arkansas. So that's a total of 34 states so far that have had a deadly mass shooting. In my pictures here are graphs. One of the graphs is the mass shootings that have happened in the US since 2014. In 2014, there was a total of 273. In 2021, there was a total of 690, which is the most mass shootings to be found. And so far in 2023, we're up by 100 or by 202. So with my presentation, I also wanted to talk about mass shootings in schools. So out of the 202 mass shootings, there has been a total of 19 school shootings this year. There were 51 in 2022, 35 in 2021, 10 in 2020, and 24 in both 2019 and 2018. There has been a total of 360 school shootings since the Columbine shooting. America has had 288 school shootings in the United States since 2009. And I found a graph that shows Canada has only had 2, France has only had 2, Germany has had 1, Japan, Italy, and the UK have had none. I also found another graph that talks about there being 283 shootings with deaths deaths or injuries at elementary and secondary school since 2000. The blue here shows shootings with deaths, and the pink is shootings with injuries only. So in 2020 and 2021, it was fairly even between the amount of deaths and injuries. In 2008, 2009, same thing, about the same amount of injuries and deaths. Luckily, looking at it, there were a lot more of just injuries than deaths. What the data tells you, more than half of the states in the United States have been affected by at least one mass shooting. Some states reaching close to 10 mass shootings, all within 5 months of the new year. At this rate, if the numbers keep climbing, we will have more mass shootings than any other year, and this is after the attempt to regulate guns. Not all of these mass shootings have led to death, only major injuries. The number of deaths, though, are 13,900, with 491 being teens and 85 being children. And that's so far this year. We're at nearly 8% increase in shootings from 2020. So if you really think about it, the gun regulations that they have been trying to put into place have made it almost worse than what it has been. The reason why I chose to do mass shootings is because I had saw the other day about the total of deaths so far this year because of mass shootings. And now for a mass shooting, it doesn't have to, the number has to be at least 4 or more to qualify as a mass shooting. So some of these shootings have been less severe. It's still qualified as a mass shooting because of the fact that 4 or more people were either killed or injured. I do want to go back to these charts here. This one chart, it's pretty hard to see because I had tried to fit it in there. But it talks about the different states and the amount of mass shootings that they've had. California being one of the most states with mass shootings. Texas coming in second. Let me see if I can find a way to click on it so that I can see it better. So, as I said, California being the most with a total of 25 mass shootings, Texas 12, Florida 12, Colorado 6, Colorado 8, Washington 7, Wisconsin 6, Illinois 5, Pennsylvania 5, New York 5, Maryland 4, Ohio, Virginia, Michigan 4, Kentucky, North Carolina, Georgia, Tennessee, Connecticut, all 3, Indiana, Nevada, Missouri, Oregon, Minnesota, Oklahoma, and South Carolina, all with 2, and then Kansas, Louisiana, and Utah with 1. I find that actually pretty surprising that Wisconsin is up there with a total of 6. The reason why I find that pretty surprising is because I personally, though I don't really watch the news all that often, I don't really ever recall seeing anything on the news about mass shootings in Wisconsin. But yeah, that's all I got.